Hey guys, it's Maisie and today we're going to be making some chocolate chip cookies. So let's get on with the video. I'm going to be using the children's baking book today. And I'm going to use their cranberry cookie recipe, but I'll change it up so that there's chocolate chips instead of the cranberries. Here's a list of the ingredients in case you do try this recipe. I'd recommend taking a screenshot now. First, put in 125 grams of softened butter. I mixed mine about until it was nice and smooth. Next, you'll need 125 grams of light brown sugar. I didn't have any, so I used white sugar instead. I don't think it particularly matters, but I would recommend using brown sugar just in case. Mix the two together until it becomes a light and fluffy mixture. Next, you'll need one medium egg which has been beaten in a bowl. I just used a fork and I beat this until it was light and fluffy, and you see I cracked that with one hand. I have never done that before, bearing in mind I did get like 3 lots of eggshell in it, but it was fine. Add this to your butter and sugar mix, and it does look a little bit odd at first, but keep mixing until it's nice and smooth. Remember to preheat your oven. Remember to line your baking trays as well. Next, you'll need 1 tablespoon of milk. Fun fact, the cap on a bottle of milk is roughly 1 tablespoon, so you don't need to go through all the hassle of getting out a tablespoon just to pour your milk in. Once you've mixed in your milk, you need to add in your plain flour. Then you need to measure out 150 grams of plain flour. You can add it all in one like I did, or you can separate it. It doesn't particularly matter. The mixture should be quite thick, but not particularly doughy at this point. Next, add in half a teaspoon of baking powder. I didn't really measure this out since I roughly knew what it should look like. This is when we stop using the recipe and do what we want. Next, add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now comes for the fun part. You can add as many chocolate chips as you want. You could even add all different types. You could use dark chocolate, milk chocolate, or white chocolate. I ended up using the whole bottle of milk chocolate, and it was the perfect amount, and these cookies turned out so well in the end. If you don't steal 1 or 2 of the chocolate chips, then who are you? This was the point where I knew I shouldn't lick the spatula, but I couldn't help it. It was so good, and I'm so glad I did. I just use an ice cream scooper to measure out how much each cookie should have, but you can do as many or as little as you want. Again, it's really just what you want to do at this point. Once you've got all your cookies on your tray, you want to put them in the oven for 15 minutes. If your oven doesn't cook evenly, then remember to swap them around halfway. I always like to have some music on when I'm baking, and yes, I did have a full-on jam to these songs. And I did eat even more cookie dough, and then I pet my dog a bit. She enjoyed it, I think. It's a good time now to start clearing everything up, since you're just going to be doing nothing otherwise. Another fun fact, it's extremely hard to close a bag of sugar with one hand, and I may have cheated a bit, but I did it in the end. Remember to check on your cookies regularly to make sure they don't burn, and yes, here I am dancing to some music. Remember to wear some sort of heat protection when taking the cookies out. I could not seem to get this tray out, it took me forever. The cookies look pretty good, they smell pretty good, but do they taste good? Yes, they do. They were really nice. I ate that cookie way too fast, but it was fine because it tasted great. I had enough batter to make 11 cookies, I think, and yes, I did have even more of the batter. Into the oven they go for another 15 minutes. Can I just say this playlist was amazing? It's called 2000 Throwbacks and it was absolutely awesome. 15 minutes later, the second batch of cookies are also cooked. One thing that this video has taught me is cooking one-handed is quite a struggle. I finished putting everything away at this point as I waited for the cookies to cool down. Remember to like and subscribe.